like for it to be extended to the 27th at least. So at least it's clear what our position is. She can come back and say otherwise, we can go back and forth, but at least say what it is that we want or what our need is, and that's to say that we want it at least to the 27th. So it reflects past practices in previous years. It was 7 days, and that's what you just named, or what you just stated there. I was looking at how many days people had in the past, the recent years. So if it's the 27th, or then if it's the Monday, let's come up with that time frame and request that. So at least it's just clear, and we can go back and forth after that.
Do you want to make a motion?
Well, I so move that we identify a date and we communicate that to her.
Do we want to identify the date on the motion?
I'll say the 29th, which is
Monday.
only the Monday.
It's the Monday.
Okay.
And that's, are you just saying the electronic, not the paper? I mean, technically things can be done electronically anyways.
Yeah.
But no one has to pick them up. This is just when they're due online.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second. So who's making the motion?
Well, somebody help with the motion here.
Okay. So Terrence, do you want to help with
Can
the
you make the motion?
I move that we extend the fall semester due date for grades to the 29th of December.
Thank you. Is there a second? Discussion? April?
Are you indicating a Monday or Tuesday?
Monday.
Because the 28th is Monday.
Okay, then Tuesday. Why not?
Tuesday, the 29th.
29th.
Okay, the 29th. Okay.
Why give up a day?
Oh, the 29th is Monday. It is?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Monday.
29th is Monday.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's right.
Jack?
Five and next year.
This discussion, I like the idea of bringing the VP in and asking her why she did this. In the past, we've had things come up and we've been doing something that's been out of practice or it's been causing problems. And so if there's a compelling reason, I'd like to hear it.
Well, and certainly to avoid this next year, if we can get this resolved this year. Okay, I would bring the item back and ask Dr. Schilling to address that, for sure.
And just to be clear, Jack, that I'm not suggesting that we not hear her or not have her come back. Absolutely, we want to have that conversation and clarify everything. But again, the topics brought up today, and looking at the timing of the decision-making part of it, at least they know where we stand going forward. They can do whatever they need to do to clarify that or find out, but we should have an answer when she comes back.
Okay. Any more discussion? All of those in favor?
aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. I would like to request again from the Senate to move agenda items H and G around. Chief Gallivan is here today, and if we've got to move items to next week, I would prefer not to ask Chief Gallivan to have to come back next week. Any objections? Thank you. Chief Gallivan, we have a couple of issues. I will bring up the one that Solomon and I have. We had intended to talk to Dr. Johnson about this, but Dr. Johnson has been on jury duty and we have yet to be able to talk to him. So I just want to get clear that we have not talked to Dr. Johnson about this yet. There is a concern, and I believe it's a serious concern, that the parking permits on our cars are visible wherever we go. And they're small and they're static. So to remove them and replace them increases the risk of them getting lost. But it does create a safety issue if we are off campus and we are potentially have stalkers would know where we work. So there has been a request to know if that would possibly be able to be changed from the static sticker to what we previously had, which went on the mirror, which was easier to remove. So
Good
we
question.
believe this is a safety issue, so.
No, I appreciate the concern. I don't have an answer for you right now, but I will look into that. I know, like you said, the current stickers can be removed, but I understand the concern where if you're taking them off every day, the possibility of them getting lost is pretty high. So what I will do is I will find out, I'll talk to Dr. Johnson, and I don't know if this is, again, my history is short here, and you're saying this was done in the past? With,
We used to have larger ones. I mean, they're about the size of a phone. And they fit on your mirror.
Yeah,
And
I've
those
seen
were
those.
easier to take off and put in your glove box, and they were a little bit bigger so they didn't get lost quite so easily.
Okay, that's something I can definitely look into
Okay.
and get back to you.
Okay. There was a faculty member whose wife or significant other had a stalker, and he was concerned.
Okay,
So I think it's a valid concern.
I don't disagree, I'll just have to look into that.
Did you want to add anything to that?
I was wondering if, given costs and other issues, or a possibility would be for those individuals who have that concern, that they just have a different
Yeah, that could be too.
alternative parking from.
And I think that, I like that
Consider
idea, is
that.
for, if somebody has a concern to request that type of permit, it would probably be more feasible. Yes?
I still have the old one that used to hang,
Mhm.
and then for many, many years, I've taken the one that's in my window, I put it in there, and I, put plastic around it, and I hang it back up. And even after doing that for 5 years or so, one particular day, I got a ticket for it not being in the right spot. And then even after communicating with your office, they said, bummer, wasn't in the right spot, even though it's visible right there. And even after I took it all the way to the, your board, that guy said, bummer, it wasn't in the right spot, and wanted to give me a ticket until I probably got mad enough that he changed his mind. So that's also just, in this setting, I know this isn't the conversation, but there is a level of, like, I was shocked because I thought that we were all in this together as far as creating a safe campus and being teammates and partners in this. And then for a faculty member to have to go through that sort of chaos and confusion when I have a valid pass and have for many years, to me does not represent collaboration between the campus police and faculty.
Well, we are all in this together, and I
That's
can't
my- that's
speak
my
to,
hope.
I know
That's
that,
my hope.
there are rules, and the cadets, they look for specific, what they're taught to do, but that doesn't mean it's something we can't change. And common sense does come into play at some point. So, again, I apologize for your having to go through that, but again, it's something we can look at.
And then initially when we had those, I forgot to put it up one time. It was ticketed, so I would rather have my little thing on.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good idea to, those that request it could have.
Because
it.
I too
Yeah.
fought it, and I too was told bummer.
Yeah. That's,
And it is a real
I just
challenge.
like the static one.
okay, yeah, so
So
maybe,
personal preference.
just given a choice would be a good idea.
Because I could see if everybody had the hanging type permit, I don't know about everybody else, but I tend to be forgetful, and that could lead to quite a few citations.
Okay, and then Monica had a specific issue.
I have heard from 2 female students who, in walking either out to their car at night or walking from their car onto campus at night, that they have been sexually harassed by males driving around in cars in the parking lot. They couldn't tell me if they were students or not. They said, well, they were around my age, so I'm assuming, anywhere from 18 to 25 or something like that. One of those students was in tears. She didn't know what to do. And it's, at least from those 2 students' points of view, it's getting worse in terms of being harassed as they're walking through the parking lot. So in terms of, young men leaning out the window and making sexually inappropriate comments and, and things like that, and they were genuinely scared.
Well, what I would encourage, obviously, it doesn't have to be a violation of law for us to be notified. And if a student is afraid to come talk to us, let us know. If you hear something like that, what we're looking for is time of day, what parking lot, if they have a vehicle description, because there doesn't have to be a violation of law for us to be out there. We can talk to anybody. And so a lot of times, I know the officers spend a lot of time at night in the parking lots, but as it goes, if they don't see the black and white, they feel pretty free. So I would encourage, if a student comes to you, if we'll come and talk to them, they can request an escort. If somebody's really concerned, we have the escort service where they could call us from their car, and we'll have a cadet or officer meet them in their car, walk them to class. If they're driving through the parking lot, we always talking about being aware of your surroundings. Look around. If you see somebody you're not comfortable with, move to another part of the parking lot or call us. We'll be happy to come out.
Is there any way, and maybe this is a recommendation the Senate can make or something along those lines, that, that students be made aware of these escort services? Because I don't know that a lot of the female students here on campus even know about those. That you could, you know, if you were concerned, that you could have a cadet or a police officer escort you to your classroom. Is there any way to publicize that?
Well, yeah, I think it is publicized in the registration information. I can contact Talon, another good resource, and ask for them to put something in the newspaper just to advise the students of that service.
Okay.
But it is a great service, and we don't want anybody to be concerned walking through the parking lot. But reality, especially at night, there's some areas that aren't, you know, some of the areas surrounding campus aren't that good. So I would encourage people to utilize that escort service.
Okay.
Yes.
Crystal?
What is the number?
The number to call for non-emergencies would be area code 562-924-3618. And anybody that feels they're that scared, they dial 911. Don't guess. If they feel that concerned, they're really in fear, just pick up the phone, dial 911.
Thank you.
Crystal?
And is it true that officer visibility and, or cadet visibility would be the biggest deterrent to any sort of conflicts on campus?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's why we encourage our officers to walk through campus. I walk through during the day, but they are walking through. They're not seen all the time. But they're driving through the parking lots. Our cadets are out in the parking lots, driving through intercampus. But again, you guys are our eyes and ears. If you feel there's an issue in a certain area, just give us a call, and we can heighten our visibility in that specific area. Yes?
Have you guys looked into adding more light fixtures around campus? Because some areas are dark at night, and some students feel scared to even walk around those areas, especially in the parking lot, in the back of the soccer field. I park there, and it's dark, and a lot of students still feel scared, like there's not enough lighting.
Well, that's something that goes through facilities, but that's something I will pass along to David Moore as far as that area. But again, if anybody has a concern, you can send it to me and I'll forward it to David Moore and give him a call.
Any other comments for Chief Gallivan? Thank you so much for coming today.
Oh, no
I
problem.
appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me.
Just like to, unless there are any objections, we'll maybe move items G and I to next week's agenda. Thank you. Student Senate Liaison, Abraham.
Here's just a summary of what's happened in the last 2 years. So on November 10th, it was Veterans Day, and I couldn't make it because I had class on that time, but I heard it was a great event, so thank you all who came. We've been looking into the game room because according to data that we have, it loses $60,000 a year. And we, 60,000.
60.
And we feel that students don't utilize it, so some students are in favor of replacing it with an activity center, while others feel that it just needs a renovation because it's a place for student interaction. So as of right now, it's just discussion. We haven't taken any action yet. And also, we passed the theater department graphic design concept contest. It's a $500 scholarship for theater and arts majors to design a pamphlet for the fine arts department. And also, 2 weeks ago, we passed the stance of support for Dr. Linda Lacey's employment until June, I believe. And that's what happened.
Thank you so much, Abraham. Solomon.
Just two quick things. The lecture lab task force has finished the meeting, and they will come up with a recommendation on December 11th to the both teams, the district and the union. Then the last thing is, I don't know if you are aware, I think almost a year ago there was a dispute between the district and the faculty union on schedule changes, where the district, to make up for lost holidays on shortened semesters, they expanded the class times, and we took them to, it didn't come to a resolution informally, so we had to go to the court. And finally, the court has a